Jesus said, speaking of not living for the things of this world, Jesus Christ said, do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven where neither moth nor rust destroys and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Who's ever lost a large sum of money?
I haven't had a large sum of money. Ever.
Well, have you ever lost money? I have. I've lost large sums of money, and that's one thing I realize about this scripture is that it's true. If we lay things up like on the earth, if we keep our treasures here, we realize how expendable it is, how quickly it goes away. You're going to get scammed, the stock market's going to crash, and you're going to lose large chunks of it. But when we lay up our treasures in heaven, they're going to be there for us.
I get your point to a smaller extent.
Let's lay up treasures in heaven where moth and rust do not destroy and where thieves do not break in and steal. If we live for the things of this life, we're going to be disappointed. There's a big disappointment and a shock waiting for those who live by the philosophy that he who has the most toys wins. We are to live not for this life, but for what comes after this life. We are to lay up treasures in heaven. We are to set our minds on things above, not on things of the earth. We are to live for the Lord, live for Him. We're not to live any longer for ourselves. We're not to live selfish lives. We are to live selfless lives, modeling our lives after that of Jesus Christ, who gave Himself out of love for all mankind. So let's take Jesus' teaching seriously. He loved us enough to come here to suffer and die, and not only that, but to teach us. He is the master teacher. Let's listen to what He said. Look at those red letters. Pay attention to what Jesus said and take them seriously. Jesus, His words are not just words of poetry. It's not just nice sounding things that sound good that we're not really supposed to live by. No, the things He taught are principles that we are to put into practice in our lives as much as we can. In the book of Revelation, the heavenly Jesus, after He rose from the dead, after He had ascended to be with the Father, He said, "Blessed are those who do His commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may enter through the gates into the city." So, we must do His commandments that we may have the right to the tree of life and enter into the gates. But not everyone's going to get to enter. Some are going to be shut out. Well, who's going to be shut out? What types of people? Some examples given us are, He says, but outside, that is outside the heavenly city, outside are dogs and sorcerers and sexually immoral and murderers and idolaters and whoever loves and practices a lie.
Jesus Christ.